Colorist. Mike. A bit running all of a sudden. That's crazy. That is crazy. Mm. What's going on? Answer the poll. Take the poll. Take the poll. Y'all check the poll out. Y'all see what the question is. Welcome to the show, Roddy Rod Show. Are you a colorist? That's the question. Me? Nope, I'm not. I've never really even been into being like a colorist like some people are. They want to put light skin above dark skin. And you could say, hey, it's because you dark skin. That's why you don't look at it that way. But I just don't. I just never have. I always looked at black people as just what they are. They're just black. Like if you're a black American, then I'm looking at you like you're a black American. It ain't no different. Whether you light skin, dark skin, whatever the case may be. So, you know, especially when it comes to relationships, we see so many people like, well, I'm mostly attracted to dark skinned women, or I'm attracted to light skinned men or light skinned women. But I don't think it's wrong having a preference. If you got a preference for, light skinned women or dark skinned women, then that's just your preference. But if you're a person who is a colorist, which would mean like you just like gonna totally discriminate against the other color, somebody who's darker, then that's a different issue. And it's not only just in the black community, it's also in other communities as well. Like the Latino community, they have a thing for dark skinned Latinos and light skinned Latinos. Well, more white skinned Latinos, ones that are more white passing. I also think we have something like that in the black culture. You have more light skinned black Americans who can. It used to be where light skinned black Americans could kind of pass for white, especially if they had more white in them than black. So they would get more privilege. They would get more opportunities and more things to do. What's up, 29A29837 Cody? What's going on? So I think, when it comes to stuff like that, those people were just using their privilege for the time. You wanted to get ahead, so you use what you had. Yeah, man, get out of here. Y'all sound like some youngsters. Y'all already trolling. I'm good. How are you, Cody? But yeah, I can't wait to start trolling on these damn lives and stuff on this fucking vertical shit. You need to cut it out. But answer the poll, man. If you are a colorist, do you think black people can be colorists? I definitely think black people can be colorists. But they is trolling hard. Y'all tripping. Where do y'all come from? What's up? I love Nezuko. Where do y'all come from, these trolls? Anyway, back to my show. The colorism thing. especially when it comes to the black American community. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go over some clips and we can talk about it. Also, if y'all new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And when you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I really would appreciate that. Also, if you see the video later, make sure that you turn on your notifications, leave some comments, and let me know what y'all all think about the channel. Appreciate it. Now, let's check out some of these clips.
Colorism is an oppressed mentality. And yes, women who say, oh, I only like dark skinned men, that's that light skinned shit. Light skinned men get feminine, are colorists. And I'm gonna reinstate this again, even though I said the shit a month ago. But y'all clearly didn't see the shit, so here we go again, once again. For some reason, within the black community, light skin is equated to femininity and dark skin is equated to masculinity, which is...
That's a big thing in our community. I think if you're more light skinned, then people perceive you as soft, which is something that I don't agree with, especially when it goes back to the whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing, because Drake was light skinned, Kendrick Lamar was dark skinned, and they made the perception or made it be perceived that Drake was soft or he was weak. Now, in my opinion, I thought Drake won. I thought Drake was the better artist. I thought Drake had the better bars. I thought Drake had the better diss track. But for whatever reason, everybody was on Kendrick Lamar's side, and they was just siding with him because he was dark skinned, and he was perceived to be more Black American than Drake was. But I'm thinking Drake is just as much Black American as Kendrick is. Drake's dad was a musical artist in the American music industry. His uncle was an artist in the American music industry. His uncle was one of the founders of Graham Central Station. Drake is a great artist, I thought. Well, I still think that. So I was trying to be like, why the hell were they so against Drake? I'm thinking in my head, most of these people are just colorists. It's because he's a light skinned dude. So they was just saying, oh, he was a Canadian light skinned soft guy who wrote and sung about soft music. When it's like, yeah, but he had good music. And on top of that, y'all try to act like y'all didn't listen to Drake and y'all didn't soak it up when you know that you did. Everybody was listening to Drake at one point. Now all of a sudden, because Kendrick Lamar has a diss track and he says a couple of things, now it's like F Drake. Oh, and let's F Drake also because he's light skinned. I wasn't with that. I was on Drake's side the whole time. I thought Drake was a way better artist than Kendrick Lamar. Some people say I'm lying, some people say I'm wrong, but I always thought that Drake was a way better artist than Kendrick Lamar. Say Drake's Canadian, yo. Drake is his mom is Canadian, but his dad is Black American. He's a Black American, bro. Like, give me a break. Okay, let me see something. Where was Drake born? Let me find out. I think he might have been. He was born in Toronto. He's a Canadian, but his dad is a Black American. Stop it, Connor. Stop, Connor. Stop, Connor. Go away, Connor. You trolling. You trolling, sir. I'm not listening. You trolling.
Why most black women like dark men and most men in general like light women. I'm not one-sided when it comes to the shit. Y'all talk about we trying to make everything colorism, and the shit is colorist. Cause what y'all don't understand, it's okay for a motherfucker to have their preference, but once your preference is based upon skin tone solely instead of race, bitch, you're colorist. You're going off the color of a motherfucking skin, not a motherfucker race. You like black women, but you don't like black dark women. Bitch, that's colorist. Simple as that, and it's fine. Everybody don't gotta like me. I ain't gotta be everybody cup of tea, but ain't no bitch gonna play with me. At least not without me speaking about it. And yes, my lace is lifting. Bitch, I've been working all goddamn day for 6 hours straight. I don't give a fuck. We as a whole need to do better. But the problem when it comes to this colorist shit, when it comes to dark skinned women, everybody gets sensitive as fuck. But when bitches be talking crazy about light skinned dudes, everybody just look past that. I done even had niggas come up to me telling me, oh, I don't like light skinned women. Woo woo woo. They think they all that. Bitch, you think you getting some cool points from me? What you think you finna butter me up because I'm dark skinned? You think I don't like light skinned bitch?
She ain't lying. I feel the same way when people say stuff like that. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't make me think, oh, okay. Just because I'm a dark skin, you come up and tell me, oh yeah, I'm attracted to dark skinned men. Okay, so I'm supposed to hate light skinned people because you're attracted to me? Like she say, that don't get you no cool points. That ain't doing nothing to me. Cause I've never looked at people like that. I'm just a black American. So I look at other black Americans as just black Americans. Say Drake is Jewish, not black. Drake is black. His dad is black, bro. Like he's half Jewish, half black. Well, I mean, what are you saying, Frank? You got to make that make sense. So because his mom is Jewish, you just gonna negate the fact that he has a black American dad. Tell me how that works, because I don't know how that works. Tell me how that works because I don't know how that works. Jeb comment says, typical angry black woman. That's why no one likes you. How is she angry? I don't see no anger. I just see her stating an opinion. And I know where you going with that, but the thing is, she's just giving her opinion, giving her thoughts on something. She doesn't seem angry to me. And if she is angry, I think she does have a little bit of right to be angry because if people are being a colorist against her, especially other black people, then that's wrong. Sure, I get on here and say what I feel and what I think about black women, but I mean, it just is what it is. Like I'm not a colorist. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't like her because she's dark skinned, or I don't like her because she's light skinned. That's not what this is. What's going on, truck driver? How you been doing, bro? Frank Vrooman says the only way you're Jewish is if you come from a Jewish woman. I thought you were what your father was. Am I wrong about that? I thought you were what your father was. Because I know most black people, they always consider people black, especially black American, if they're at least half black American. If your mom is black and your dad is white or whatever or other, then you're black. If your dad was black and your mom was other, you're black. That's what I've always known. That has always been a thing to me in our community is if you're half black, then you're black. But it typically is supposed to go, you are what your father is. That's my thing. Frank Vrooman says, so if your mom isn't Jewish, you're not Jewish. I always thought, like I said, you are what your father was. But hold on, y'all give me a second. You say nope, not in the Jewish religion. Appreciate the gift, Z. Appreciate the gift, Z. Z sent some. It says, I don't know what that means. It says 100 for 2 jewels. Appreciate the gift, Z. New school mixed people don't believe in the one drop rule. Oh, they don't? They don't believe in the one drop rule? Frank Vrooman says, you are what your father and mother is if you're white and black. You're not black or white. You're mixed. He is mixed. I mean, I can agree with that too. But what I'm saying is typically most black people consider that person black if they have a black American parent. We just accept the fact that you're black. And that just comes from slavery and previous times where most people just, hey, if you wasn't all the way white, if you was mixed with black even a little bit, you black. It's like the other side didn't want anything to do with you, so you black. That's just that's always what I've known. The libertarian says identity politics has no bearing of a nation of human beings. I hear you, but tell that to the black community because the black community does identity politics all the time. If you're perceived to be black, then they want you to vote for that person. And you better vote for them, or else everybody's going to try to shame you. Just like Kamala Harris. They said she was black. She wasn't black. She was Indian and Irish. And everybody was screaming and hollering, that's a black woman. That's a black woman. And then she turned around and said that she cleaned wash her greens in a tub. And they still got y'all to vote for her. And they still got Negroes to sit up there and vote for her. So back to my question. Like I asked, identity politics. As a black person, do you think that black people are colorist towards each other? So far in my poll, it says yes, 75% say that black people are colorist towards each other. And I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that 75% of what the poll said stated. I think that most black people are colorist towards each other. You see it all the time. You see it play out in everyday dynamics from work to relationships, all of these different things where people always claim, look, I want a light skinned woman. I'm too dark. I need to have a light skinned woman so we can have light skinned babies. Now, I don't want to get with another dark skinned woman because the babies be too dark. That doesn't bother me at all. Like, if she's light skinned, if she's dark skinned, it's cool with me. Like, I think we get too caught up in the whole colorist thing, but we've been doing that ever since slavery ended. Even before slavery ended, we was doing that because what the light skinned people was the ones who were typically in the house because they were, for the most part, mixed. They were usually mixed with a white race, especially someone from the master, as they say. He was one of them. Those were most of the time his kids. Tim says Barack Obama wouldn't have won if he said he's biracial and not black. Oh, you know he wouldn't have. Black people would have been so mad. Black people would have been so mad that he said that he was biracial and not black. They would have lost their mind. The lunatic libertarian says labels, titles, and categories control the system. That's how they keep us in the positions that we are by giving us these labels, these titles, keeping us separated and divided and fighting each other just so they can always get their way. Because as long as we divided and separated at the bottom, they're going to always win. Frank Vrooman says one drop rule was made by racist white people that black people still go by. Sad, actually. Yeah, we still live by it, bro. We still live by it. We still live by it. We still use colorism. We hate on each other. We dislike each other for every reason we can find, especially if they're light skinned. We perceive every light skinned person as weak. We perceive every dark skinned person as mean and cruel and over the top. So it goes both ways now. Frank Vrooman says FBA tethers, all this racist crap got crazy. You say FBA tethers? What do you mean FBA tethers? I'm clarify that statement for me, Frank. Clarify that statement for me. Bro, the trolls are out tonight. I think people have come to this channel and know that I'm subject to lose it and I'm subject to go to slap the hell off. So they come over here trolling. I think that's what's going on. Because I'm getting a lot of these crazy comments. And it's the same thing over and over. It's the same thing over and over. The lunatic libertarian says, I'm racist, according to someone else. That makes it true or just the reason your mind can be closed to ideas. Yeah. Hey, the lunatic libertarian, I get the same thing. When I say certain things on this stream, bro, I'm getting called a racist every time. I'm getting called a racist every time. People are sending me emails. People are leaving comments. People want things shut down. They're mad at me. I get it all the time. Nothing's new. So I definitely know what you mean when you say that people are calling you a racist. If I start talking about immigration and the people who I don't want and over here, people lose their minds. When I'm just pro American, I'm pro anything that Americans do. Anything that Americans want. That's what I'm for. I'm not for anybody who comes from another country that they fled from and come over here and wave their flag or say death to America. I'm not with any of that. Bent Rod Willie says, I get called an Uncle Tom because I'm a Republican. And I definitely agree with you right there, Bent Rod Willie. I'm the same way. If I agree with anything that a Republican says, and God forbid, don't let it be a white Republican, I am a Uncle Tom. I am a Uncle Tom. Let alone just agreeing with anything that Republicans say, I'm an Uncle Tom, which is the reason why have forego to discuss politics with my family. It kind of popped up yesterday during Thanksgiving, and I was sitting right there, and I know some of them was looking at me like, okay, we're gonna see what Rod gonna say. I didn't say nothing. I didn't get involved in it. I didn't give him no responses because I knew where it was gonna go. And I'm pretty sure you get the same thing, being Rod Willie, especially if you're a black American. The majority of us are Democrats. So if we agree with one side, then we bad people. We bad people. Frank Ruman says, all the foundational black Americans calling everybody else tethers. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, Frank? I don't think that every other group of African melanated people or just melanated people are tethers, because if they align with what foundational black Americans want and say, then I wouldn't call them tethers. But the ones who go against us or the ones who try to shut us down, I say that those people are tethers, bro. I definitely say that those people are tethers. So the definition that you probably hearing is from some of those just over the top people who say foundational black Americans, because those people are the ones who say anybody who is from any other country, they all tethers. And that's not what that means at all. That's not what that means at all. Lunatic. I'm pro production, not consumerism. I'm pro skill sets. I'm pro training over education. I I agree with you. We need more. We definitely need more training. We need to go back to the basics. We need to go back to when, you had welding in high school, you had trades in high school. They started taking a lot of that stuff out by the time I was graduating, but now they starting to put some of those programs back in because they're seeing where it's going. Some of these things are being turned into automation or AI is taking over, but really the main jobs like welding and things that you have to do with your hands, like HVAC, mechanic work, AI can't take that over. You're still going to need people to do those jobs with a hands-on, you know, ability. Traveling Lamp says, as a white man, I see liberal blacks feel very intimidated by conservative blacks. They definitely do, which is the reason why they try to shame us and call us names because of what we stand for. And they say whatever they say about us is just them projecting that on us. When they say we spineless or we're cowarding to white people, that's what they doing essentially, to be honest with you, whether they know what they're doing or not, because the liberal white people are way more racist than any of these conservative white folks. The liberal white folks are off the chain, bro. They say some of the most egregious shit you could ever think of. They treat black people like they beneath them. They even talk to them like they don't have no common sense. They talk to them like they have no knowledge of anything. What's up, Gen X Army? What's up, Gen X? Tyrone T 4015 says, don't ever discuss politics with family, especially you have a lot of women in your family. Oh man. The women are the worst. The women, when it comes to politics, they some of the worst because they try to stand so firm on Democrats that they can't get their head out their ass. They love everything the Democrats stand for because everything the Democrats stand for is in favor of black women. That's why they love it so much. If it was in favor of black men, they would be conservative. I guarantee you they would. I guarantee you they would. The lunatic libertarian says if you have the opportunity, check out Larry Sharp for New York governor. He is running under the We the People ticket 2026. Yeah, I'm gonna check him out. I have an interview on my channel. You got an interview on your channel, the lunatic libertarian. Let me go. Let me check your channel out real quick. Let me go to your channel real quick. Okay, I pulled it up. Oh, okay, I see it right there. Okay, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna go ahead and follow you, lunatic libertarian. I'm gonna check out your channel. Also, you seem like you got some good talking points. We may not agree on everything, but I invite you sometime whenever I'm having a panel show. Sometime, a lot of times, Gen X he'll come up, and man, we can have a nice little discussion about different things, especially politics, because that's when I really ramp it up on my channels when it comes to the political season. I like to talk about politics, so when we get back to like the primary elections and things like that, yeah, I invite you to come through. And man, if I drop that link, man, just come on up, man, talk to me. I'll check you out, but I'm definitely gonna check you out, and I did subscribe to your channel, sir. Tyrone T. This nigga tripping. Sharon Musgrove says, we're not black. Stop taking someone's label or be a fool. Okay, we are copper colored American or different shades of brown sugar. Man, ain't nobody listening to that crap. We are black, bro. We black Americans. Don't sit on here and try to tell me that I'm African. Because if you tell me I'm African, bro, I'm definitely about to get off of here. Well, I'm about to get you off of here, I mean. You a master tradesman in what field? And appreciate this subscription, lunatic libertarian. But what are you a master tradesman in? That's a good. I want to know. I'm a welder. I'm a welder. It's called dumbing down. Yeah, that's the fact. That's a fact. Tim Saylor says Joe Biden administration gave asylum to the immigrant who deleted a female member of the National Guard. He did. Because I did hear about those two National Guardsmen who got shot. I know the lady died, right? Well, I guess I shouldn't have said that. She was deleted, right? Let me make that correction. Yeah, she was deleted. She was deleted. I haven't really got too deep into that story just because I've kind of not really been into politics. So I try to, if I haven't really been keeping up with it, it's hard for me to talk. It ain't hard for me to talk about. It's just that when I do politics, I like to kind of get most of my facts straight. I don't like to just kind of go off the cuff. I try to get some statistics and different things like that. Sharon says black is dead according to law or constitution. I've heard that same argument before. But I'm not about I heard what you're saying. I heard what you're saying because somebody else came on my channel and gave me that uh point about black is dead according to, I think it was Black's Law, a book. And I was like, okay, cool. I heard what you're saying, but I'm gonna call myself a black American. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but I'm definitely a black American. And that's it. Lunatic Libertarian says, as a veteran of the United States Navy, I know my oath and I have no response to a service member's death. Okay, I don't. I heard what you're saying, but I don't know. Like, I wasn't in the service, so I don't know. I guess y'all can't speak on that or whatever. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. Trump, Sharon says, Trump administration just approved him to be here 2025. Approved who? Now I'm asking that question because as I'm talking and reading these comments, I kind of get lost. I kind of forget some of the things I said. So just let me know what you mean. It's just hard for me to keep up with because it feels like I'm having a bunch of different conversations when I'm doing this. Also, once again, I want to point out, if y'all new to the channel, make sure y'all hit the like button, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I go live or drop new content. Also, whenever I do other shows, and eventually, I've been saying this, but eventually I will get back to my whole landscape platform. Right now, I'm doing a vertical platform just so y'all can see me in the shorts feed and whatnot. But I'm going to get back to my vertical platform where it's on a bigger screen, and then more people y'all can come up and have the discussion with me, and I will drop the link so you can join the show. You said you're a master diesel tech, CWI trained for weld inspection, HVAC certified in EPA 609 and 608 and 609. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, sir. I appreciate that. I think more people need to get in the fields of trades. When I first graduated, my dad, he was trying to get me to be like an engineer and be in business, but he also did push me to be in the trade. So, I mean, I wish I would have did either one. I mean, I ended up being a welder, you know, but I mean, either one, I wish I would have, went full throttle into it because I'm not welding right now, but I wish I would have went full throttle into one of those fields. Sharon says we're indigenous colored people of this land. I agree with you. I agree with you. Everybody didn't come over here on a slave ship, Sharon. That I agree with you, sir. I definitely agree with you. There were actually people who were already here, who were already on this continent before the slave trade. So that we don't disagree. That's why I say I definitely understand some of the points that you've been saying. But like I said, I'm going to continue to call myself a Black American. But like overall, I don't think we're like in some big disagreement. Like when some people come on this channel and we have these big fights, like I don't think it's that. I just think it's we we disagree on a few things. And also, if you would have liked to come up on the show when I drop the link, you're welcome to come up on the show, sir. So between the people that I've been listening, well, reading the comments of, Sharon and the Lunatic Libertarian, y'all are welcome to join the show. Gen X says the shooter is from here in Washington State, approximately 60 miles from where I'm at in North Seattle. Wow. Wasn't he a Muslim? The Lunatic Libertarian says tech school welding can weld in all processes GTAW, GMAW, SMAW. I can program ABB robots on an 8-axis machine with table. That's great. That's great, sir. It sounds like you got it going on over there, man. Yeah, I definitely like to talk to you. Warnings System of Ohio 18 says Jesus loves you and died for you, my brothers and sisters. You are God's best creation. Appreciate it. Plant based black man says, I'm a black African American who can trace his ancestors' American slavery and to the West African country of Guinea Bissau. I'm not I mean, great. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. That's what you call yourself. That's what you say. You've done your ancestry. You looked it up. Hey, it is what it is. Sharon says the shooter in DC of the guardsman, lunatic libertarian says lost my PTSD counselor, Captain Russell Seeger, KIA Fort Texas, 2009 by another medical officer, Hassan. Oh, I think I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that incident. Gen X says, I'm a black American and can trace my ancestors back to 1782 when the first ancestor came to the U.S. See there? He calls himself a black American. That's and I agree with that. I can trace my ancestors back to um, the Revolutionary War. What? Because we did it. We did it. It was a family reunion, and they had the whole like family tree, and they put it up. They had somebody do the genealogy and go through all of it. I mean, it was man, it was a lot. I've been saying I gotta ask somebody to give me all that information. Say I'm Sharon. I've been calling her. I've been calling her Sharon. Sharon. Sharon Musgrove. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Sharon Musgrove. Say I'm a full female. I definitely apologize, Sharon. Please charge it to my head and not my Sharon. I've been saying Sharon. I bet she like, I am a woman. I am a woman.
You big dummy.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Lunatic Libertarian says, I'm always willing to come on a podcast or a panel. All right. Yeah. So, like I say, you got an open invitation. Anytime I'm doing this stuff, just come on up, man. Y'all talk to me. And we can have any types of discussions, man. Whatever the topic is, we can go at it. But back to my whole topic about colorism. I'm just like I said, I'm gonna go through some of these clips that I did see on TikTok and discuss them, and y'all can give me y'all thoughts or whatever, whenever y'all want to chime in. Check this one out.
Can I just say something? As a man, if you want to talk to me, pursue me, kick it with me, date me, whatever it is, right? You gotta know that the moment that you make any type of shady comment or reference to my skin tone, you're an automatic chop for me. Like, you're done. Yeah, I remember I was on a date with this man, right? And we had went out a few times before. He was cool or whatever. We wasn't heading down the aisle like, you know what I'm saying? He was just cool, whatever. We was getting to know each other, filling each other out or whatever. He was a lighter skinned black man, okay? And so we out and about, we out on a date, and this man says, yeah, you're so pretty. I can't wait for us to have kids. I just hope that they have my skin complexion. I'm sorry, what? And he said it so matter of fact, like he said it so confidently, like, yeah, I just hope that they come out with my skin tone, like, and then he just kept talking, like he has said nothing wrong, y'all. He just kept talking, and I'm sitting here not listening to nothing else that he's saying after he said he made that comment, and I'm like, did he just say that?
And that's crazy. And you know why that's crazy? It's because if you're a black American or just black person in general, You can be two dark skinned people and have a light skinned child. You can be two light skinned people and have a dark skinned child. You can have an albino child. You can produce all of the colors. Like it's crazy like that. I have a auntie who is very, 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 very light skinned, almost white, and she's not albino. And the rest of the siblings, they all dark skinned, and they got the same parents. So the black people who participate in this colorism thing is foolish and it's stupid. Because what are you getting out of that? And you're not finna change nothing, and you don't know what you about to produce. You just making an assumption based on both of y'all skin colors, but that don't mean anything. That don't mean anything. Appreciate. Oh yeah, no problem for the invite, Sharon. Say we from South Carolina and down through Alabama. Well, mine goes back to Tennessee, and it was a plantation owner, and he made my family walk. They walked from Tennessee all the way to Texas. That was something that I learned. They walked from Tennessee to Texas. Walked. I just couldn't believe it. Damn, walked. Like that is whew. I couldn't imagine what they went through. You know, some of them probably didn't have on shoes. They probably had blisters on their feet. You know how that went. I ain't gonna get into it. Some of them probably couldn't continue to walk, and we know what happened to those. We know what happened to those people. I agree with you on that too, lunatic libertarian. The self reliance is aligned with self accountability. Yep, which is something that a lot of people lack. They don't want to be held accountable, so they want to blame everybody else for their misfortunes. That's why they don't want to rely on themselves. They want it to be put on somebody else. Back to the video.
Is he really serious? I could not believe that he had said that to me because now I'm like, you hope that our kids, first of all, I was never having your kids in the first place. So I don't even know why you said that. Like, I didn't even give you, I wasn't even on that type of time with you to think that you would ever be lucky enough for me to have your kids. So why did you think that? What? Like, you were already, like, that was already strike one. And then you turn around and say, that you hope that they have your skin complexion and not my beautiful brown chocolate melanated skin. So now I'm just thinking like, okay, so what? So if we have kids together and they come out my skin complexion, what you gonna do? You gonna discriminate against your own kids? Like, are you gonna be mean to them?
Yes, some of these black folks will be like that. Some black people will discriminate against their own kids if they light skinned and they don't like them, or if they too dark skinned and they don't like them. That happens. Gen says, my family owned the plantation in Louisiana and Oklahoma. The descendants collectively own the plantation in Oklahoma. It's a marijuana farm now. They done flipped it. Okay. And that's another thing. Black people, we got descendants from both sides. A lot of us from the black side and the white side. And a lot of them was from the quote unquote masters, the owners of the plantations, the overseer. You know what I mean? Like that is very much prevalent in our ancestry. Lunatic Libertarian says, my grandfather comes from Ponce. Is that Puerto Rico? My lineage of the indigenous tribes of the Caribbean known as the Taino, has been disregarded by people of color in America. The Taino, ain't they? Don't they have like African ancestry? See, he was 5'2" and darker than dark. Yet I am white, according to Black America. Man, that's one of those things. Like, if you really want to get deep into that, I'm really not the person to do that. But like some of the other people that I talk to, you know, they could kind of get more in depth about that with you. But I wouldn't. I won't be the expert, and I'm not going to sit up here and try to critique what you telling me based on that because I'm not. I'm not like that well versed and that deep into that aspect of it. But I have heard them talk about the Tainos and what they look like and who they are. Gen X says, my mother's side is the side that are interracial, and you can clearly see by my skin tone and eye color. Yeah. And that also goes back to what I was saying earlier, because for the most part, black people, we just gonna say, oh, he black. Yeah, he probably mixed with some or have something else in his ancestry, but that's a black dude. Like that's just what we're gonna roll with. And when we saying that, it's not like we disregarding a lot of times that people are mixed. We just like based on previous generations and previous times, those people were just considered to be black. So they black, and we just done with it. But I'm definitely with you when you say you're a Black American, because that's me. I'm a Black American, and I've always looked at you as a Black American, Gen X. Like I could tell, like something. It was probably something else in you, but to me, I was like, it's just a black dude. Like, and you've heard me say, I'm like, it's just a black dude. Columbus killed 70 million humans when he came to the islands. Hmm.
Are you gonna treat them differently because they're darker than you? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like what are you on? What are you on? What are you on? I swear, y'all, I knew as soon as he said that, I knew that I was not ever gonna speak to him and he was never gonna see me ever again. But I'm just like, what would possess him to even say that, to think that that's okay to say?
Because black people have a colorism issue, like I said. And just like my poll, look at my poll. It's got 29 votes. And the question was, as a black person, do you think that black people are colorist towards each other? 69% said yes. 69% said yes. Because black people, we know that most of us are colorist towards each other. It's been like that. It's going to continue to be like that. Some black women are just as colorist as black men. Dark skinned men be colorist. Colorist comments from a black woman. Let me look at this one. This one says black woman says light skinned people face bias, but not colorism.
I don't feel like light-skinned people experience colorism. However, I do feel like their experiences that light-skinned people can have that are negative. Because I've had people tell me, oh, you're not black, you damn near white. It bothers me, but that's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. I'm not gonna say y'all are being colorist toward me because y'all are talking about my skin. It is annoying, but it's like, I feel like that's insulting for me to say, well, this is reverse colorism. Because none of anything that I will ever go through will ever touch what I know y'all have gone through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can I just cut in really quick?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's like offensive. It's just a bit reductive. You
Right.
understand? Y'all gonna make me be the insufferable.
Oops, how did I do that? I'm sorry.
Can I just say,
I don't feel like light-skinned people experience colorism. Talking about my skin, it is annoying, but it's like, I feel like that's what I know y'all have gone through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can I just cut in really quick?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's like offensive. It's just a bit reductive. You
Right.
understand? Y'all gonna make me be the insufferable woke
No.
woman
Say
all
what
the
you
time.
gotta say. Say what you gotta say.
I know we talked about earlier the opinion that light-skinned people don't experience colorism. For me, that's not an opinion.
Right.
And I don't want it to be where light-skinned people can never share their experiences, especially when it comes to the invalidation of blackness. You understand? I claim y'all. Y'all are
Right.
just as black as I am. So you should have the space to discuss these experiences, especially if they traumatized you. I just I just want to say your experience doesn't have to be colorism to be valid.
I don't feel like light skinned people experience
What is colorism? Let's ask Chat GPT. Because what she was saying, in my opinion, that's colorism. It says colorism is discrimination or prejudice against people based on the shade of their skin tone, usually within the same racial group or ethnic group. It often means lighter skinned people are given more privilege, beauty preference, or social advantages. Dark skinned people face more bias, stereotypes, or limited opportunities. Where colorism shows up: dating and beauty standards, employment, media representation. Then it says why colorism exists. It's rooted in colonialism, slavery, European beauty standards, and the idea that lighter skin equals higher status or safety. These ideas were passed down for generations. If you want, oh, that's Chat GPT talking. I think she was experiencing colorism. She was just giving a pass to the people who committed colorism against her. She's kind of like covering for the blacks. Like, no, they weren't being colorist towards me. Yes, they were. The lunatic libertarian. When I was in the service, it was never a matter of color, race, creed, or religion. You were just the person to my left and to my right that would allow me to get back home exactly. And I've always heard that when it comes to people in the service. Even the ones who may be a little bit biased or maybe racist towards each other, once it was combat going on, that just flew out. We done with that because we just trying to get home at this point. We trying to survive. I'm trying to get you back to your family. I'm trying to get back to my family. We trying to get back to our country. Yeah, being in the military is a different animal. Oh man, in the Eastern Indian community is crazy. In the Latino community is crazy because we see Latinos come over here all the time and claim that they're white. When you like, bro, that is a Mexican or a Brazilian or whatever they are, but they'll sit up there and say that they're white. What was that woman, Nikki Haley? She was saying she's white. She even changed her name. Her name was Nimrata, but she went by Nikki. Like, come on now. That's almost as if she's ashamed of what she is, which she, in my opinion, she was. He says they'll be 10 shades darker than me and be acting like they white as Taylor Swift. Yeah. Lunatic Libertarian says, well, we didn't give a shit what stamp was on each other dog tags as far as religion. I know y'all didn't. I know y'all didn't. Y'all trying to get home. Y'all trying to survive. Now, I'm not a military person, but I just know that. I got a little bit of that just based off of playing sports. You know, even in high school, we had, man, it was still a little bit of racism going on. The blacks kids and the white kids was kind of separate, or we, saying certain things about each other. But on the football field, it was a different story. We was trying to whip your ass. We was trying to get that W. Nobody really cared about all that other shit that was going on. And that's just the truth. That is just the truth. Let's see what I got over here and what else. Same thing that I was saying. Okay. But yeah, these last few lives, man, I think the next time I'm gonna get back to my whole landscape thing. Uh I don't know. I'm saying that now, but then I could possibly come right back on here and go right back to vertical, being right back into the vertical view. But I'm gonna get off of here. I enjoy talking with y'all, and like I said, Gen X is all he welcome. It's a no brainer. The lunatic libertarian and Sharon. Y'all are welcome, Sharon Musgrove, and anybody else who come through. Y'all welcome to come up if I ever drop the link. I want to get back to more of a like 3 or 4 people up here, and we having like a broader discussion on some different things. I want to get back to that. So whenever I do that, man, make sure y'all come through. All right. And like I'm saying, when I see y'all next time, I'll see y'all. But as far as this video goes, that's the end of it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell once you do. Leave some comments. And as always, I'll catch y'all on the next video. Okay, somebody just sent me the Lunatic Libertarian. Appreciate you for the super chat, sir. He says, we must unite, understand our systems that oppress us as a population. That's a fact, sir. That's a fact. True Americans must unite. Peace, peace, Gen X. True Americans, bro, we must unite. We can't let the outsiders take away our freedoms. We can't let the outsiders interfere with what we got going on because look, they fled those countries, and yet some of these people who fled these countries are trying to come to our country and bring their same ideas and thoughts about how life should go over here. When it's like, if you have the same thoughts and ideas that you want to bring over here, why didn't you just leave those in their country that you fled? If you want to wave the flag of the country that you fled, then just go back to that country. But if you want to be here, then you need to assimilate. If you can't assimilate, then we can't do anything with you. I don't. I'm. That's just me. Now I'm very very pro American when it comes to that. And once again, lunatic libertarian, I appreciate you for the super chat. And like I said, man, I catch y'all on the next video. Lunatic libertarian, make sure you come up whenever I drop that link. Anybody else, y'all see this channel, make sure you come up when I drop that link. And I'll catch y'all on the next video.